Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. Hope you're having an amazing week so far. Today, we are going to talk about money blocks, all right? Because sometimes we've got these beliefs, we've got these patterns, we've got these blocks that are going on that we don't even realize that we have. And this is why it can feel that no matter how much we do or how hard we work or no matter what actions we take, we can still struggle when it comes to money. Okay, so we've got these beliefs that are running in the background that affect how we think, how we feel, what we do, what we don't do. And today I want to help you to uncover those so that you can do something about them and change your money relationship and your money reality. Okay, it's one of those subjects, money, isn't it, that a lot of people don't like to talk about. However, I'm hoping that I'm changing that a little bit because it's not about, sort of go up to people and say, well, what do you make and get all intimate into what they're doing and how much money they have. It's more about being more comfortable yourself with your own relationship with money and being okay to talk about money. Okay, you don't have to go to those extremes. People don't need to know your ins and outs, and you don't need to get into their ins and outs either. It's more about not putting your head in the sand anymore, not shying away from the subject, because that will never change anything if we keep avoiding it. Okay. And I know that especially with money, there can be a lot of, there can be embarrassment, shame. There's a lot of comparison that goes on, especially if you're not where you want to be and you're looking at other people who have got a lot of money, and then maybe there can be some jealousy that comes into it. There can even be guilt around money. Okay, so this is where you can't just assume that somebody who has got money feels good about having money. They may still have their own poor relationship with it as well. Okay, so wherever you are and whatever you're feeling and whatever your beliefs are around money, they are what they are. If you are happy with where you are, fantastic, keep going. If you're not, then stay tuned on this and let me see if I can help you to start to turn that around. Okay, and everyone deserves to feel financially secure. So if I can help you guys start to get towards that, then I'll be very happy with that. Okay. Now, money, if you do have a poor relationship with money, in that how you don't think very highly of it, you don't feel very good when you think about it, and you don't have a lot, that's okay. Like I said, money is simply the currency of the day. Okay, so this is also why it's so important that you change your relationship with it, because we do need it. You can't buy groceries and pay your bills with hugs. Okay, we all need money. We all want money, whether we admit that or not. Okay, we do all want money because we need it. But then, this is where that whole relationship comes into it. And our relationship with money that we have right now is largely due to the beliefs that we've formed as we were growing up. Okay, so when we are very young, so between the ages of 0 and 7, we are mostly operating unconsciously. Okay, so we're just walking around doing what we're doing and absorbing everything that we see, absorbing everything that we hear. Okay, this is why kids learn so much in such a short space of time. You look at the between the age of 0 and, I don't know, when do kids start to talk? 3, 2, whatever it is. Learn to operate their body, to move around, to walk, to run, to communicate, to do all of these things in that small amount of time. It's because at that age, our brains we're just soaking everything in. Okay, so if you lived in a house, now hands up if anyone has ever heard these sort of sayings before. Okay, we can't afford it. Money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think? I'm made of money? No, we're not doing that. We're not buying that. It's a waste of money. You got to work hard for your money, then you deserve it. So this is where the guilt can come in as well. All right. So these are, and look, I'm sure there's a million more. And if you want to, you can chuck some into the comments of the common throwaway comments that maybe you heard when you were a kid. But these comments, they then start to form a lack mentality when it comes to money. And if you think about it, well, where did your parents hear those words? They've been from their parents. Where did they hear it? From their parents. So this is how the cycles start, and they get repeated and passed on from generation to generation. And this also adds to how hard it is to then recognize these money blocks when they are so very ingrained, and it's been generation after generation. This is how it is. Okay. And then you've got the other ones around, rich people are greedy, or money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't buy happiness. No, it doesn't buy happiness. However, it does make things easier, reduces a lot of stress, and without stress, you are happy. Okay. So, but what happens with these ones, the money is the root of all evil, rich people are greedy. At an unconscious level, what's actually going on is that you don't want to be seen as being greedy or evil or unhappy. So you are inadvertently putting this invisible cap on the amount of money that you're going to allow into your life. Okay? And then this is where we start to form beliefs like, well, money doesn't come easy, or there's never enough, or I'm no good with money. And then that makes us feel anxious about spending money. We worry about how we're going to pay for our bills. We worry about the future. We worry about retiring. Maybe not when we're younger. When you get to my age, you start worrying about, how am I going to have enough? And all of that feeling affects your vibration. Good morning, Elaine. Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. So then how we're feeling affects our vibration, and that lower vibration then attracts more people, more circumstances, more events that match it, because it has to. This is how the law of attraction works. Like attracts like. So then this is where it starts to perpetuate things. So maybe you lose your job, or maybe you have a car accident, or the fridge and the washing machine, they break at the same time, which causes more stress, more anxiety around money. And it's in your face, right? So you can't help but focus on it, which makes you feel worse. So this is how that low vibration is kept active. And you attract more evidence to support your beliefs around money. See, I told you, look at this, I can't afford that, I've got all these bills now, and this happened and that happened, everything's gone wrong. Okay? Because you're vibrating at that lower level, you're getting the evidence because it's coming to you from the law of attraction, and it's making your beliefs more real, more concrete. You've got that evidence to support them, okay? And then one day you have kids and you educate them on money based on your own beliefs and experiences. And this is how it gets to be generational, all right? So we get pass it on. But the good news, yes, there is good news. The good news is that you can change your relationship with money, which will then change your reality, okay? So let's get into some practical steps to help you to do that. So the first thing with anything, and especially with money, is you need to become aware of your money stories. What do you believe about money? Now, not what you want to believe, what you actually believe. Okay? This is where you've got to be a little bit real, and I want you to stay in that negative sort of headspace for just a moment to uncover what those beliefs are. You don't have to go down into the why or where did it come from or anything like that. It's just acknowledging, okay, well, I believe money's hard to come by. Okay, that's it. Not where did it come from? Why do I think that? Is it wrong? Is it right? Nothing like that. It's just acknowledging this is what my belief is. And maybe you've got a few, okay? So what do you believe about money? How do you feel when you think about money? All right, write it down. Anxious, not good, whatever the words are for you. And again, we're doing this quite quickly, okay? Because I don't want you staying in this space. It's just to have that awareness. So how do you feel when you think about money? How do you feel when you look at your bank account? And it could be the same words. And if it is, then if you've got no more words to add to it, that's fine. Move on. So how do you feel when a bill comes in, whether it's an expected bill or an unexpected bill? Okay, how do you feel when that comes in? What are you saying to yourself? Okay, this is what I want you to pay attention to, because what you're saying are your beliefs. Okay, now remember, beliefs are simply words that you have on repeat. And it doesn't mean that you're consciously repeating them all the time. A lot of this is happening at that very deep level because they are ingrained. We heard them so often when we were growing up, they became normal. Okay, it's like the white noise that's running in the background. All right. So when you've got that little list of your beliefs and your feelings, focus on the beliefs, and I want you to question them. Okay, so why do I believe this? Where did this belief come from? And again, don't go down deep into it. I believe this because, I don't know, I always just have. That's fine. Okay, where did it come from? I guess my childhood. We're not pointing fingers, we're not blaming, we're just acknowledging. And then the next question I want you to ask yourself, is that really true? Okay, so if you have a belief is, I can't afford it, maybe it's true. Maybe in that instance, you can't afford that thing. Okay, maybe that's true. However, is it also possible that this is an automatic response that you have? So it's like when you say, when someone says, how are you? And we go, good. And it's out of our mouth before we even know what we've said, even if we're not good. Okay, it's like these automatic responses that we have. So they just fall out of our mouth, and it's just a habit. Okay, so is I can't afford it a habit? Now, I used to actually say that to the kids when I didn't want to buy whatever it was that they wanted, because it seemed nicer to say we can't afford it than to say I don't want to buy it for you. Okay, however, that then causes other ongoing things. I don't want them to then grow up thinking they can't afford it. So, and I'm going to, in a minute, talk about how you can reframe things, okay? So right now it's just questioning, is that actually true? And it could be. Or is it also that it's an automatic response, okay? So if one of your beliefs is you have to work hard for your money. So this is, I love this one. When you have beliefs like that, it's like you just need to go that little bit broader and ask yourself, is it possible that there is at least one person out there in the world today who doesn't work hard for their money? Is that possible? And of course, yes, it is. There are lots of people who don't work hard for their money. Now, part 2 of this, how does that make you feel? Are you jealous? Are you thinking, well, that's not right? That's not fair. Okay, because then that's a whole nother subset of beliefs that you have about, being spoiled or undeserving or, all of that sort of stuff. And this is important because while you've got those extra things going on around it's not fair and feeling jealous and, they don't deserve it and all that sort of stuff, while you've got that going on, you're going to continue to struggle. And you're going to continue to work harder than everyone else, okay? And you're not going to get ahead because now you're adding all of those extra things and resentment into the mix, okay? So remember that saying, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life? Maybe hard is just a perspective. Maybe hard is just how you've been, the old way of how your parents had to do it. Maybe that isn't relevant today. So this is what I want you guys to start questioning, okay? And then the other one, excuse me, money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy. Question that. Are all rich people greedy? Are all rich people evil? No. Of course, there are some people out there who are not very nice people, but they're not very nice people. With or without money, they're not very nice people, okay? So this is where you've got to question, is it possible that there are people in the world doing good things with their money? And there are so many people doing philanthropic things with their money because they can and they choose to, okay? So money doesn't change your personality. It just gives you more means, basically. So if you are a generous person, when you have more money, you can be more generous, okay? So this is where questioning those beliefs, because like I said before, if you believe that money is evil and rich people are greedy, your unconscious, subconscious, spirit, soul, whatever it is you want to call it, does not want you to be seen as that. So this is about reframing all of your beliefs, okay? Because you can do, money is simply a tool. You can do incredible things with it. All right. Okay, so now let's get on to the whole reframing part. So if we're going with those examples that I was using before, if your belief is I can't afford it, maybe you can start to reframe that and instead catch yourself. Every time you say that, I can't afford it, catch yourself and go, oh, hang on, is that actually true? And you could reframe that to what needs to happen for me to be able to afford this? Because that feels better, number one. It also opens yourself up to possibilities. I can't afford it, closes everything down. You feel bad. What needs to happen for me to be able to afford this? Providing it is actually something that you want as well. Okay. What needs to happen for me to be able to afford this? It feels better and it opens up for more possibilities. All right. You have to work hard for your money. You could reframe that to be, you can make money doing what you love. Now, use either you or I. I can make money doing what I love. You can make money doing what you love. Whichever one has the least resistance around it. All right, because your unconscious doesn't know the difference between you and I. If you're talking about somebody, your unconscious thinks you're talking about yourself. So this is where you can use the word you. So when you're saying these things, and if you're saying, I can make a lot of money doing what I love, and you've got a bit of resistance around that going, oh, no, I can't, that's not possible, then switch it to, you can make a lot of money doing what you love. All right. That one tiny little switch actually makes a big difference. So give it a go. So then the other example, rich people are greedy. Reframe that too. There are people in the world who use their money to do lots of good things for others. Okay, that one's a bit wordy. Make it whatever you want. You know, rich people can be generous. Make it into words that make you feel good. And if you need to, go get on YouTube. And you will find the evidence to support that there are people doing good in the world with their money. And this is where we get to choose what we focus on. Okay? All right. Then the next thing you have to do, and I'm sorry, you've got to do a budget. You have to know where you're spending your money. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Okay? If it makes you feel a bit yuck, get in, get it done. It's just about having that awareness of where things are, because then when you know what you've got throughout the year, I know I've got this, and this coming up, and in the middle of the year, there's this and this, and here, this is where you can then start to put your money aside, take control of what comes in, because when you start putting money aside into different accounts, you don't actually miss that money if it's not there to spend, okay? And then come time when that bill is due, you've got the money sitting there to pay it, and then it feels so much easier. Okay, it's not a great task, however, it has to be done. This is part of what I was saying earlier. You got to take your head out of the sand. Okay, It's simply knowing what expenses you have versus your income. And if that makes you feel not great, at least then you know, okay, I need to do something on the expenses side, or I need to do something on the income side to change it. Okay, but you've got to know first to be able to make those changes. You might actually be surprised. Now, the next little tip that I want you to do, the practical step, is to set small financial goals. Okay, so rather than going in and overwhelming yourself, just start having little targets each week. You know, even if you are saving only $10 a week, that's awesome. That's $10 you weren't saving before, because it adds up. Everything adds up. So set yourself little goals. If you want to pay off one particular bill, have a plan in place and do that. And every time you make a payment towards paying that debt down, congratulate yourself, because this is the next thing. When we make these little tiny steps and then we take the action, and then we celebrate the fact that we take the action, don't take it for granted. You could have chosen not to. Okay, the more that you celebrate that, it makes you feel good, it raises your vibration. And this is because we're wanting to change our vibration as well. Okay, if you need to, go and set up some payment plans. Yeah, they cost a little bit extra in the long run. However, it takes away some pressure in the short term. Okay, you don't have to be on them forever. And make sure that you do shop around for things like your insurance and your phone and your electricity. Shop around. Okay, you don't have to stay loyal to a particular brand if you are finding that it's too expensive and it's causing you stress. Okay, shop around. They'll be okay. And then I've already touched on this, celebrating all of your wins. And now this comes down to your mindset wins as well. So when you acknowledge that you have got that negative belief and you reframe it, you catch yourself in the moment and you reframe it, and you do not judge yourself. You go, oh, oops, there we go, I said that, and you do something else. Congratulate yourself when you do that for those little mindset changes, and congratulate yourself when you take different actions, positive actions that are going to take you where you want to go. All right, it all matters. And the more you do that, it starts to become the new habit. And this is what we're doing. We are starting to create new habits. All right. Okay, so let me see, what time is it? Okay, I'm going to wrap it up now. So what's important here? Mindset and action. It matters when it comes to your money. You got to shift your mindset, and you also have to take actions. All right. Stop doing the thing that's causing the stress around money. Start doing the things that are going to cause less stress. Okay. Challenge those limiting beliefs. So once you become aware of them, challenge them. Is that actually true? Is that something I want to continue to carry forward into my life? Okay. And then you have to decide to do something about it. It's not enough to just acknowledge it and challenge it. You've got to actually then do something to change it. Take your head out of the sand. Know where your money is going, all right? But be an observer, not a judger. Judge. Observe what is happening. Observe the beliefs. Observe the actions without judgment, to then look at, okay, well, what can I do differently? And then decide to take those forward-paced actions, okay? You guys have got this. All right, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Jim Rohn. And Jim says, your income is directly related to your philosophy, not the economy. So that's pretty exciting, because we cannot control the economy. That is out of our hands. But we can control our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, our actions. All right. Have an amazing day, everyone. I am going to leave you there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on Friday. We've got a bit of a cyclone in the area. So if I see you on Friday, I see you. Otherwise, I will see you next week. If you are in Southeast Queensland, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.